Good morning. I'm Will Hill with Building Specialties, and we're the supplier of the doors, frames, and hardware for the Easter Seals project. And this morning we're speaking about the key system that's been established for the building. Initially, we'll just go over a general overview, and then we'll pause for a moment and huddle up with the individual tenants and go over the specifically how each door is keyed. But initially, everyone should have a copy, and Barbara, we may have to give you one. I don't know if Dusty took hers. But of the keying summary, the way the building is set up is a 3-level system. It's called a Grandmaster keying system. The top level key will open every door in the building. That's the Grandmaster A key that is held by Easter Seals. Then underneath that, we've got 3 master keys set up so there's a master key per floor, which is one for each tenant. The AA Master, which is for Easter Seals, the AB Master, which is for Children's Rehab Services on first floor, and the AC Master for Vocational Rehab on third floor. There is additional expansion if there's ever a need to split up any of the floors, or if an additional tenant comes in to where we can assign a master key for whatever that case may be. So there are additional sub-masters under that Grandmaster system. Under the Grandmaster key, there are a few change keys, and by change key I just mean a key that fits an individual door. It's not a master key, it's just a key for an individual door, that are not operable by any of the submasters that the tenants carry. That would be for your exterior door and access control doors. They have an individual key under the Grandmaster that can be checked out if necessary, but not typically. There is one door, door 116A, which is the western stairwell door, the stairwell by the sliding doors, that is keyed to an individual change key that is for to be able to access that stairwell without having to give out a key that opens all the other exterior doors. There's a key that operates all your mechanical, electrical rooms, and there's a change key that is strictly for the IT closet that is not operable by any of the submasters. Additionally, there are a few keys that are, or several doors that are keyed to what we call cross keying. And all that means is that you've got multiple keys that will operate that door without having to give out a master key. For example, on first floor, we've got the medical records room, or to where that door is cross-keyed to where certain key holders, their office key will also operate that door. And that just prevents from having to hand out a master key to get into a room that you want lots of people to get into, and it also keeps them from having to carry multiple keys. So if they have 6 or 7 doors that they need to get into, you don't necessarily want them carrying around a big ring of keys. So we do what's called cross-keying, and that we can key in individual doors to multiple keys that way. And when we get into the start speaking specifically about individual doors, then we'll go over that cross-keying in detail. All of this is kept on this keying summary. It tells you what level system we have. It tells you about the Grandmaster key, the kind of what I'm going to call special keys under that Grandmaster, the A1 through A4 keys. And it tells you which master keys operate which area of the building. AA being Easter Seals, AB being Children's Rehab, AC being Vocational Rehab, and then additional master keys for future expansion. It also gives a listing of what the cross-keying does. So just to give a general overview, it'll give the cross-keying number. In this case, the top one is X1X. Then it will tell you what keys operate a door that's keyed to X1X. So that to be operable by nomenclature, but then the specific key set symbol that operates that. I know you can't see this on video likely, but in the key box is where we're going to keep all the spare keys. And by key set symbol, when we break out, I'll show you this a little more closely, but stamped on the key itself is the key set symbol, and that just is a code basically to let you know this key is set up for a specific door. And that is shown on our key schedule. The key schedule is just the legend. It has every door number listed in the building, And in another column beside it, it tells you what key operates that door. So, for example, this one is sorted by key set symbol. So the first one is going to be all your A1 keys. So that's all your exterior door and all your access control doors. And then it just proceeds on from there. And like I said, this one is sorted by key set symbol. That way, if you know you've got key AA21, you want to know what that operates, you can go to your the one sorted by key set symbol, find AA21, and you'll see that it's operating the two doors that go into employment spec. I'm not sure what spec stands or SEPS employment specialist. Okay, only so many characters I've got.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
The door ID.
Yes.
Is that the number that was on the construction plans?
Yeah, that is specifically the door number on the construction plan. So not the signage number. So
would you just restate his question, please, for us?
He asked on the key schedule. There's a column that says door ID, and what that's referring to is on the architectural floor plans, every door is assigned a door number. So that's all that is referring to. There's a separate sign that's going to be on the wall that is different from that door number. And so what we'll do is, if y'all can get us that signage, or I'll send this in an Excel format. I'll email it to Ronnie or Dusty, whomever we need to. They can add a column in there for signage. I wouldn't get rid of the door ID tag number because that's going to be what we know it by. Just add a column on that Excel spreadsheet for signage, and then that way you've got lots of cross-referencing you can do. Because if a tenant calls and says, I need a key, they're not going to say, well, I need a key to door number 100A. They're going to say, I need a key to room 111. Go to the signage, see that it's 111, you know that's going to be, just for example, AB7, and then you can check out the key AB7.
Well, I would rename that column where it says door ID. I would rename that like
Architectural door number.
Or architectural door or floor plan door, whatever.
Yeah.
Then when we did the furniture, they renumbered the rooms. So that would just be the actual.
And when I send this, I'll get rid of the stuff that you don't care about, like hardware set ID and handing and all of that. So you don't really care what door type, what lock type is on there. That's just info for me. Additionally, speaking of the floor plans, though, what I am going to do is I will have someone take those floor plans, and by each door number, we'll put the key set symbol that operates that door. Some people like that. It may not be necessary for you guys, but then you'll have the floor plan, and you can look at the floor plan and just have an overview of, oh, well, here's AB5. It goes to this door. So we found that very useful for a lot of end users, just for something visual, if you're wanting to know what key operates what door. And all of this information is going to be kept in the key box. We do have a key box for each floor. I've just got the one up here for Easter seals, but there are 2 additional key boxes that house the keys for each tenant. The way the key box is set up, we've got hang tags, and they are individually numbered. And the way we've set it up, so we've got them just in numerical order. So the A3 is on tag number 3. Just makes it very easy to check keys in and out. The A2 is not currently in here because we have already turned it over and it's being used. And there is, with the key box, the manufacturer includes a directory that you can use for checking keys in and out. Most people don't use these, honestly. They come up with their own system of checking in and out, their own form. But this will be in the key box. You can do with it what you want. The keying summary will be in the key box, and the key schedule specific to that key box will be in here.
So, for instance, A2, there's only one A2.
Yeah, there's only one door key. That doesn't tell you the number of keys that it is.
Okay.
That tells you the number. That's the doors that are keyed to A2. So The only one keyed to A2 is that 116A, which
So
is
that's
the west
the-
stairwell.
West stairwell next to the sliding door.
Correct.
Key, the door that Anita's key would.
Then Anita has it right now, but
Yeah.
she says it doesn't, she's currently saying it doesn't,
No, she does work now.
does work.
The question Ronnie was speaking of under let's have that copy of it. Under the column labeled keying, so you can see there are multiple doors that are keyed to A1, but that is not referring to the quantity of keys that are cut to A1. We can cut 100 A1s, for example, but currently I think there are 6 A1 keys that operate all of these doors that are keyed to A1. And again, that's going to be your exterior doors, except 116A, and all of your access control doors. That the override key is the A1. So,
I think we might have a,
sure. Go and pass.
see, 116A is also a card access door, correct?
Yes,
Yes. So,
you're currently having to use the key because,
yes.
but now the card
That's
access is
set up
yes.
Today,
We don't-
they'll be able to
Right.
swipe the card. Whoever Barbara wants on her floor to have that, to be able to come in that
Yeah.
stairwell.
And I know this, to speak a little bit on the access control side of it, the purpose of the access control is so that you don't have to necessarily hand out keys other than the keys to people's individual offices. It's much more secure. Even if someone takes a key and for some reason they've moved on, they've taken another job, they've been terminated, and not turned that key in, then you have to rekey to maintain security of your building. And in the case of an exterior door key, that's a tremendous number of locks you've got to rekey. It becomes very expensive. If they walk away with a card and don't turn it in, all you do is go in, punch a couple of buttons, and you've deleted them from that card. Even if they carry that card, next time they come up, it won't work. So you've taken them out of the system, and you don't have to worry about getting a key back from them and having that expense of having to rekey doors. So it's just, and then the other thing is people aren't having to carry around multiple keys. You don't have to carry an exterior door key to your office, key to this closet, key to get through this corridor door or that corridor door. You carry one card that we've got it at our office. I never even take it out of my wallet. I pull my wallet out, hold it up to the card reader. It unlocks. A lot of people will carry them on their lanyards. And then you have the one key on your key ring for your office. So it's just a much more flexible and secure system to kind of marry the hard key system with the access control system. You could put access control on every door, but that obviously becomes cost prohibitive. For the next several minutes, what we'll be speaking of is just looking at the key legends, key schedules a little more in depth. We're going to look at individual doors, just go floor by floor basically, and get a little more detailed about what the keys are per floor, and then answer any questions that the end users have. So what I've done is I've given each of them their specific key schedule for their floor. First, we'll just talk a little bit more about the key box. Again, just to reiterate what I talked about before, we've got a key box set up for each floor. Within the key box, the individual keys are hung on numbered tags. This tag ID will correspond to the spreadsheet that I'm going to send. The spreadsheet will have the architectural door number column on it, a description of where that door goes to and from, from corridor into office, etc. It'll have a column that they'll be able to add the signage number to, which the signage is the actual sign that's on the wall that the room is assigned that number. And it'll have a tag ID column. The tag ID is going to be the number that's on this white tag, so that you'll know key number AA9 is on tag number 13. Obviously, there'll be multiple tag number 13s. There's one in each key box. And it'll have a column that says, it's labeled as keying, and what that is the key set symbol that's stamped on the individual key. If we ever have to order new keys, then at our shop, at our office, that's what we'll go by. We can go by by door number, that's on here, and we can look it up from that because we've got the same information in our office, or we can go by key set symbol. So you can either call and say, I need a key for door number 100A, or I need a key number AA9. And then that will tell us what we need to know to be able to. We do not need the physical key. We do not make duplicates. We make original keys. We cut off of the information from the manufacturer. Yes, sir.
Can these keys be duplicated in any hardware store, Lowe's, whatever?
No. This is, and I'm glad you asked that. I should have brought that up earlier. This is this is a Sargent degree keying system, and degree is a patented key system. You have to be a Sargent distributor to even purchase the key blanks, and additionally, we have to have permission from the end user on letterhead for us to be able to purchase the keys specific to this property. So I can order a key blank, but I can't order one specifically for this property. It has to be, because they have to reference a letter of authorization where Easter Seals has given us permission as the distributor to purchase and receive keys. Otherwise, I could still order them, but it would have to ship direct to the end user's property. It could never come to my office without that letter of authorization.
Question?
Yes.
If we do need a key redone, will Dusty be the one that calls and makes it
Yeah,
done?
what's going to happen there is because of this, and we do this regardless of the level of security of the key system, even if it's one of the most standard keyways that's out there, if we require as part of our policy to have the end user give us a list of authorized individuals that are allowed to purchase keys, to either order keys or to pick up. So if Ronnie says he's the only one that can do it and he sends someone to come pick up a key, we will not let them have that key without prior authorization. He would have to call or send a written, whether it be email or a phone call to say, hey, I'm sending Joe to come pick up a key number that I ordered yesterday, and it's okay for him to do that. At that point, we could let him on that individual basis. But we keep a record, a written record of who the authorized individuals are, and we update that annually. Just like we have to have our letter of authorization updated annually with the manufacturer. So it's a dated letter of authorization from Easter Seals to us to be able to purchase and receive the keys and cylinders. If I order it the day after it expires, I have to get a new letter of authorization. And that's all to protect the end user, the integrity of the key system. But as far as, like I said, you're not going to go to, whether it be Lowe's or whether it be a locksmith shop, they're not going to have this key blank to even be able to cut the key. You have to be a distributor, manufacturer, and we're in Tuscaloosa, we're the only one, and our main office in Birmingham is a distributor. So it's very protected to be able to even get a key blank. So let's look at, and the exterior ones fall up under the key schedule that Ronnie's got there. So again, the way, and there'll be some added columns once they get the spreadsheet set up the way they want it, but we'll definitely have this keying column on here. So let's look at individual doors and make sure see if anyone has questions on that.
Are you on this key
Yes,
legend?
that's right, and it's sorted by key. So you may have to scoot up to where they can see yours. It's not gonna be on theirs for the A1. So
These are by floors.
yeah.
I got you. Okay.
So this is I've got the overall here. So again, the keying symbol that's on this plan is going to tell you that individual key, and I don't have them because we turned them all over to you. But I'll grab A3. So if somebody is carrying the A3 key, it's going to get them into all of these doors that are marked A3. So the only keys that's going to operate this door is going to be your Grandmaster A key that opens everything in the building, and this A3 key. So your Master Key AA that operates second floor, your Master Key AB that operates first floor, Master Key AC that operates third floor are not going to open any of the doors that start only with A. And let me back up one moment too there to speak about that. The master keys, this key set symbol will also indicate to you what generally will open that door. So if it starts with AA and a number after it, then you know the master key AA opens it. If it starts with AB, the AB master will open it. AC master will open it. If it only has a single A, then that means it's only the grandmaster and that individual key will open it. I know that's a lot of information. That
How
makes
many
more sense to me.
grandmaster keys are there gonna be, just one?
I think I don't know. Yeah,
4, and who holds those?
that's
Alvin, Barry, Dusty, and me.
Okay, we're right there.
and then there's one in the Knox box.
The AB that's supposed to be a master that I checked out from you doesn't always open up everything on the first floor. So
Correct,
then we
because
need
there are, if it's an access control door, remember that key override for the card reader doors is this A1 key. Because you shouldn't have to worry about opening that door. You're going to carry a card for that door.
Storage room. Right.
So, okay, I'll have to look at that individually. So as we go through this, you'll have to show me.
Okay.
And that's why I got the plans pulled up too, so we can look at individual doors.
Okay.
Yeah, I had asked him about that question,
Okay, thank
because it's card access. You
you. That'd be
should-
the outside.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
So
It's inside too.
inside
Well,
card
but I
access,
mean,
yeah,
It didn't work for me to come from the outside, but you're saying if we have a card access, that should resolve that.
correct.
But mine didn't work being coming from the outside, and I had a master. And also wouldn't work for a storage area downstairs.
Your master key will not get you in from outside.
Okay.
So it's because it's keyed to this A1 key. And an AB master will not operate a key. It'll only operate any door that starts with an AB. As far as the keying. Right, yeah, sure. If the card system goes down, if the power is out, then we've got a key override that allows you to get into that room. So, and there'll be designated people who, if the alarm goes off, whoever, that Ronnie will say, okay, I want these people to carry this A1 key in the event of.
But just think about this, if the power is out everywhere in this neighborhood, it wouldn't do you any good to come in here anyway. You wouldn't be able to work or turn the lights on.
Right.
No, right, yeah, absolutely.
So,
So all of so as you can see, all of these exterior doors and like this one is an interior, but it's card access, is operated by the A1. Your A3 that I was showing you here, so this A3 key, which is the mechanical electrical key, will only open, like I said, these electrical closets, mechanical closets. IT rooms are keyed to an A4.
And actually, so this is a good question. So A4, since it's an IT room one, John may actually have to could carry one of those. Because if the power goes out,
It depends on the room. So
if the power goes out, then he would
they are
have
not,
to
no.
get in there.
so John, yeah.
John needs
Okay,
a key
that-
for
that
the
helps clarify.
downstairs and wherever,
Okay,
because they
Yeah.
think our data run operates us too.
right, okay.
all right. Let's jump over and look to first floor, which is going to be your AB keys. So again, on your key schedule, it should be the one you've got there. I've got yours sorted by symbol, I believe.
Go right
Starts with
ahead.
AB1, then it jumps to AB10 because it sorts by the first
It
number. Unfortunately, once you get this in Excel format, you can change that sort. The way it prints out of our specific software, it looks for the first number. So it goes AB1, then AB10 through 19, then jumps back to 2. So it's kind of annoying there. But again, if it's got the letters and a number following it, like AB1, then that is referring to a specific key. And that key is going to be stamped AB1. And we can, if you want us to get your key box up here, we can. But it's basically the same as this. So that is referring to, like I said, an individual hard key that opens only the doors that have that AB1 next to it. So in this case, there's only one door in the building that the AB1 key will open. Now but there are other keys. So here are all the keys that open that AB1. You've got your Grandmaster A that opens everything. You've got your master key AB will open it, and then this individual change key is that this AB1 will open it. So your master AB will open it, and then whoever is assigned the key to open it. Now this is a card reader door, but it's a card reader that gets you only into your space. So your master key would get you through that card access door. And this is door number 106. It is corridor 102 from corridor 106.
On like Barbara's sheet, where it's talking about corridor 102 from corridor 106, that's the architectural plans. Did that
Yes.
change?
I have no idea if that changed.
We would also need to
We need to see that
make
to
sure.
see.
I don't think corridor, the only thing that changed were office
I
numbers.
think so too.
This is architect, because my office number is 351, and in here receptionist is 351. So this is based on architect. They're just-
So, really,
But corridors didn't change, I think room numbers did.
Right.
Okay.
well, that's what I'm wondering, though, we need to see.
We need to match them.
How many master keys per floor do you have?
For that floor?
Initially, there were, and it tells you on the summary, there were 4 master AAs cut, 2 ABs, and 4 ACs, and that was based on the information we got at the initial key meeting.
So your floor, third floor is AC?
Yes,
There are 2,
there are 4
4?
cut.
But you're going to give out 2. One to
Whatever
the other.
Deborah wants to get.
Okay.
So here's the main lobby entrance. In the circle, in the round wall, the arc wall.
Uh-huh.
Then this door that goes back into the back office corridor. That's that corridor 106. And that's a card reader door, but it's keyed under the master AB.
Okay, so the corridor just means the door is not to an office, it's
Correct.
in the hall.
Yes. It may say corridor to office.
I'm thinking Yolanda probably did not change that, but we'd have to print it out and see. They all need to be labeled. The easiest would be to label them whatever Ellis changed it to.
And you're talking about this, there's not a door there. That's open hallway.
Well, if they took that out, then they didn't let me know.
Well,
There's a
that's
door
open
somewhere for it.
That's the open hallway. I mean, because this is, I think.
No, this is open hallway.
Yeah,
Here.
this,
Most of the ones down here are going to be individual keys. So like you're jumping down to AB2, that's door 103, that's going into an office. And again, there'll be the signage number will be assigned to these on the spreadsheet that y'all get. So the person in office 103, right now it says vacant, but so someone gets assigned to that. The only key you're going to have to give them is that AB2 key, because that'll get them in the office, and then they'll carry their card access.
and that'll work.
Actually, Dusty
Yep.
gives it to them.
There you go. Exactly. Or
But the deal is
I don't
that's all
know
they
how
have to do.
that'll be.
That's all they have,
so,
yeah.
That's all they have to have, which is great.
right.
Yeah.
On your floor, and again, so you've got just individual keys that operate the doors, but you do have a few that are what we call cross keying. That's what I was talking about earlier. So on first floor, for example, you've got an XAB16. Now, there's not going to be an XAB16 key in your key box. The X is just indicating that that opening is cross keyed. So there's not going to be any key that has an X stamped on it. You will have an AB16, but that's why we've got this summary list that's going to be in each box. So this is telling you what your cross keying indicates. So again, just to refresh, because I know there's a lot of info that I'm throwing at you. Cross keying just means that you've got multiple keys that will operate that door.
Okay.
And on here, Barbara, you've got this XAB16, which is, that's going into your early intervention storage. Then anyone that carries keys that's operable by your Grandmaster A key, of course, your Master Key AB, we'll get into that room, and then the people that carry AB11 and AB15.
And what is AB11?
AB11 operates This is great television.
AB 11 is up here corridor.
That's to early intervention. So the person in early intervention can get into that storage room with their key. They don't have to carry a second key.
Okay,
And then AB 15 is also to early intervention.
right, their private office. Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
So,
So that one key will operate all three?
yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, but what it does not do, the person carrying AB 11, which is into early intervention 134, their AB 11 is not going to get them into early intervention 138. So their keys will not operate each other's offices, but it will operate that storage closet.
What do I need to do for that one person to be able to operate all three?
Why does the one person need to operate all three?
Because that's the only one's back there, and she's using one office as a storage, and then using the storage area as a storage.
Okay, yeah, that was
So she
conveyed,
needs
so-
to have key access to all three
Okay, well, that'll be,
areas, as well as her office.
Yeah, that'll be something being separate, because at the time, it was, they're set up as separate offices,
I know.
not as a storage and a storage.
I know,
So,
but we don't have an extra person for, yeah, she's one person.
so,
She needs to have access to all three. I'd love for her to have one key to do that, but not to keep up with so many keys.
yeah, that would just be a individual work order to be issued to where whichever one is the additional storage is also keyed to this XAB 16.
We just do that, we'll just do a request, okay?
And then we can come out on site and rekey that and good to go.
All right. What about if I have a door that doesn't have a lock on it, that I need to have a lock? What happened to that?
Same issue there. You have to issue a work order because it was approved as not having a lock on it.
Okay,
So-
all right. So my therapy room has all my speech stuff in pretty expensive equipment. Her door will lock, but the speech therapy room doesn't.
What if there's not a, like this is XAC 62,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not an XAC 62 on this list.
Let's see.
We'll fix it.
There's a 63, 63, and a 64.
Okay. It must have been changed out at some point between this being made and.
Well, now this says the hall to BEV Tech 401. I wonder if that's, I don't know, maybe, is this 63 a duplicate by accident, you think?
Let's see. That's going into, well, that's the storage room inside of that room. See, it's
Mhm.
so it's operable by the same key.
Says we don't have.
So
a
at some point,
62.
yeah, 62 has not been, got changed out at some point in between.
So we don't need a 62.
Right.
XA 62.
Just looking at the other cross keys you've got, Barbara, you've got this XAB 31. So that is,
Order to audiology testing? For the audiology
Correct.
suite, maybe?
audiology testing 165. So anyone carrying key AB 32 will also be able to get into there. And I think that's the one you and I looked at last time. So, yeah, that's one you and I looked at before. So it's just like the storage room inside audiology testing,
Yeah, she's
the
got
office,
little
her
three
office
and-
key. Yeah, her office key will operate all those outside doors. But if you needed someone to just get into the outside doors and not into her office, then they would carry the AB 32 key. I'm sorry, the AB 33.
If these are with architecture and we have changed them up, it's fine that my key is not going to be an issue. But these that are double or cross keyed, for example, if the BEP tech person is no longer in the room that coincides with AC 32,
That's where the additional column for signage is going to come in.
right, but you see, if his key, when they thought he was going to be in room AC 32, let's say he's now in AC room 34, and that's not cross-keyed with his stuff outside in the back. So we just need to get with Dusty on
Well,
that.
if y'all move
Yeah.
people offices,
Not,
what you're saying?
the numbers are going to be different from the architecture's numbers.
Yeah, but is the physical office the same? Is the actual
Oh,
office?
yeah.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Okay. My bad.
Unless
Yeah.
they change
Unless they
physical
change
location,
offices.
Yeah.
it's just a matter of putting the right number in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Yeah,
will
just like what
double
we're
check
talking- yeah.
all of that and write it out and give it to Dusty.
Can't you?
Okay.
Yeah, just like what Barbara's talking about, there's a function change on an office to where now the person that's in one office also needs access to the other office, where when they designed the building, it was set up as a separate office, but functionally from now until they hire another EI person, then it makes sense to have to rekey that one office.
And that brings up an issue about people deciding on their own to swap
Yeah.
offices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want this window. I'm okay not having this one. Have this swap. Well, that's not a good idea because that could affect cross-keying necessarily.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And we just kind of stay where we are until we figure all this out.
So, Barbara, after this, I'd like to walk down and let's look at those storage rooms we're talking about that aren't operating by your key, and that way we can determine if it's a keying issue or if there's something we need to come out and get fixed.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions other than just making sure that keys operate where they're supposed to operate?
I think I'm trying to wrap my mind around this.
The big thing is when you're looking at your key box, and I know the signage is going to be a large part of it because you're looking at what's on the wall and you're not toting around a set of plans. Is looking at that signage, looking at the tag ID that's going to be on the spreadsheet that is, again, going by this. When it says tag ID, it means this number on the white tag. And then the key set symbol and saying, okay, this is supposed to open room number 100 and it's not opening it, then that's a phone call to us to say, please confirm. We do that all
We'll
the
go
time.
through you.
That happens every time a building
But
opens.
I'm saying I need for all that to go through you, okay?
To Dusty, but
Yeah.
what I
Well, you
think-
need to record all of it.
Right, what I think we need to do, honestly, is not even let's give out card swipes first. If
Sure.
you get in the building, let's get the spreadsheet done correctly before we even hand out
Yeah.
one of these.
And I'll email that
I'm in agreement
this
with
afternoon.
that.
So
Then we know what we're dealing with on a correct spreadsheet, and when everybody gets in the building, a couple of weeks, Easter settles in, we'll come back and do hard keys. And it's not gonna kill us to leave our doors unlocked for
No.
let's move up to second floor.
Will,
Yes, sir.
which sheet tells you how many keys you already have cut for each box?
That's going to be this summary sheet.
Explain, just explain.
So-
Incorporate that into
Okay.
his question.
Yeah, so on this summary sheet, we decided back in the key meeting that, provide cut keys as follows. And we've already made a slight change to that. Like, I think we cut an additional Grandmaster key because for the Knox box. But there were 4 Master Key AAs cut. There were 2 Master Key ABs cut. There were 4 Master Keys AC cut, all of which the Master Keys have already been turned over. They're not in the key box. The only thing in the key box are change keys. And then all other change keys, 2 per change. That means even though there are 15 doors, call it, I don't know how many it is offhand, 15 doors keyed to the A1 key, there were only 2 A1s cut initially. Now, by request from Ronnie, we cut an additional 4 to have a total of 6, which have already been turned over. But in general, there are 2 per change cut. So 2.
Excuse me.
So even though a change key may open 10 doors, there were 2 keys cut for that. And we like to have lower number to start, and if we need additional, then we can do that.
In each box, there's,
No. Each box is strictly for the floor.
right, but each
So-
box has only 2 keys per number.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not talking about the ones that
Yeah.
have already been issued.
Right.
I'm talking about the sets that are in
Yes.
the box.
Correct.
What do you mean by change?
Change key is just a key that only opens an individual door, and has the letters and the numbers. So
Also, all other keys.
yeah,
You have 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Dusty has those, you brought those to Easter sales, or somebody did.
right.
So I think they're in her office. And all
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, the masters, the exterior door keys, and the
Because we
Yeah,
had to hear
that's
something to
basically
the
what it is.
third floor people when they got.
so the
So, like, each office has 2 keys that have been cut.
Right, and that more than
One will
likely,
get
one will get
assigned,
issued and one will stay in the
Gotcha.
box.
Gotcha.
We don't say this on tape so everybody hears it. I would, excuse me. I think it's important that, let's say Deborah, because she's not here, so I'll pick on her. Deborah gets the master key to her floor. She really should not give that to someone else and say, well, here it is, bring it back to me, and then she gets called away or that key gets, I would not give out my master key to anybody.
Well, and that charge could, depending on the level of key, if it involves rekeying a cylinder. So it's not just necessarily the charge just for the individual key. I mean, if we have to call a tech out to repin a cylinder on site.
You lose a key that opens
6
5 or
doors.
6 doors, and we have to rekey 6 doors.
And have to put a new cylinder in or whatever.
Yeah.
That bill's going to,
What about an office key? If you lose your office key and it has to be rekeyed, does it have to be rekeyed?
That's an in-house decision. It depends on,
if it's an office key and you lose it, we just make a new key.
for a tech to come out, hour and a half time, is, you can quickly run up pretty expensive.
I mean, everybody needs to know when you're handed the key, that they're responsible for that key and any charges that are incurred if you lose it.
Yeah, I mean, just to throw an example, a lot of the Greek houses on site, because they know that it's such a problem with people losing their keys, they sign a form saying, if you lose this key, it may incur charges up to $400, depending on whether they choose to just recut a key or whether they choose to have somebody come out and re-key the cylinder.
And I don't know really how we could force someone in another agency to pay us, or that agency, but it could quickly, because we've had this in our building.
Oh, that's
It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Put it in your lease.
Oh, I'm not changing that lease.
Right now, at least.
An
They have a
amendment to.
whole new company.
Oh, no.
Not right now.
How would you sign a lease?
There's already beautiful things in that lease that we don't want.
Right.
Looking at the Easter Seals floor, again,
What you
same.
gave me?
Yes, sir. Again, the same thing with individual keys will operate only certain doors. So AA1 is operating 185, which is the lobby from the copy room. So it's the copy room door, and it also operates the exterior from Social Security lobby. So it's operating those 2 doors.
AA1, Social Security lobby from 191.
Yeah. So you got, you come into Social Security from the outside, and then there's that door just inside that vestibule, and so it operates both those doors. Now, both those are, one of them's card access, or actually, no, it's not card
We made
access.
a card access on the inside, or buzz in.
Well, yeah, it's buzz in, but just to be able to unlock that door for business is a key that operates both those doors. Flipping over to AA2, which is going to be after all the teams. Nope, actually, there's not one, because it must be a cross key. Yes, I'm sorry, it's cross, so it would actually be the X, be all the way on the last page. XAA2, because it's a cross key.
Mhm. So if it has an X in front of it on the key legend, it is a cross key.
Yes, it's a cross keyed opening.
I missed that one.
So, and then, for example, that AA2 is operable by, of course, the Grandmaster, the AA Master, and then the AA5 key. So whoever carries that AA5 key is also able to get into the file room in Social Security.
I honestly think that when we hand out these keys, my first thought is, you're gonna have to be here.
I can do that. That's not a problem.
We're gonna have a key day, and an expert sitting at the table with us as we bring in each person. The boss says they do this, this, this. This is very complicated.
like I said, you've got all the individual keys, but then I do want to run through the cross keying that you've got in your area, Ryan.
Okay.
So,
What does BU stand for?
where are you looking?
It just is at the end of some of these things.
I have no idea. We ran out of characters, so.
So we do this again.
So you've got X1X, which is on, that's first floor. And that's the medical records supply area that you said you needed everyone to be able to get into. So it's cross keyed to all of your change keys. X2X is third floor. Two and three. So we'll look at those in a moment.
I hate to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Is there anything else we need to cover while Barbara's here? We have visitors from
I think that
Montgomery.
is it. And then I'll get
And then
with
I
you.
get with you later.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
So cross keying on the third floor, you've got the X1X, and that is operable by your Grandmaster A, the Master Key AB, and every AB. I'm sorry. AC is third floor. I apologize. Cross keying on third floor. X2X is operable by the AC Master, which is the one that Deborah would carry, the AC3 key, and then AC5 through AC5, 6, and 7.
Okay, hold on. Where is X1X? Oh, it's not.
That's first
not on
floor.
my
I'm sorry, that's
list.
first floor. It's first
Okay.
floor. I apologize.
That's okay.
That's why it's not on your list.
Okay.
So that X2X then, if we look at the AC3 key, that key holder will be able to get into the door, which
What is
is
the X2X? I still don't have this on my list.
X2X is not on your list?
Mm-mm.
It didn't pick up when she printed it off. I apologize. I'll get that fixed.
Okay. So at X2X.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's, which is going into storage 343, whatever that storage is used for. And the person carrying the AC3 key, which is shown on your summary there, which is, it's another one of those BU doors.
But it's accessed by the
OM
AC3 key.
specialist, I guess.
Okay. Orientation mobility.
So, there we go.
Yeah.
So the person, whoever has access to that office, they'll be carrying that key, that AC3 key, and it'll get them into the storage 343, AC5, which is the ASA office. So the person carrying that office key will be able to get into that storage room. AC6, which is your teacher, teach.
Rehab teacher.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And the AC7, which is a rehab counselor. So those four key holders will be able to get into that storage room.
The storage room 343.
Correct.
We're just simply gonna have to absorb all this, get the spreadsheet correct,
Right.
come back down and do it together.
Well, that's why I wanted to get this information, because that way we can go up and use our
Yeah. And the same thing on
Stuff.
X3X is probably not on your list either then, because of the way it
no, it's not.
printed.
Who gets that?
That is AC 15 through 19.
Through AC.
Yes, which is, you look back on your list here
Yeah.
to flip back to AC 15 through 19.
What does the X3X access?
It accesses two other storage rooms, storage 340 and storage 373.
Can you get a copy of this? I just want to know it.
Yeah.
We go upstairs and copy it now.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
But I would
that's,
not have looked for those.
and that's these
X
different,
ones, so.
yes, there's coordinator, rehab
Sales
assistant,
coordinator,
yeah,
okay.
so.
Okay. So, yeah,
Riveting.
second time around, we'll have it down.
Exactly. And much of this information will not be something you've got to worry about on a day-to-day basis. Once people have their keys and we know how they work, and honestly, you give it to them, and if it doesn't work, you'll hear about that pretty quickly. So, that's honestly how we discover any of the issues. I've got Rick that was in here doing the auto operators. He was leaving from here to go over to one of the sorority houses for the same reason. So they gave out keys, didn't work the way that they
It'll take a
thought
little
it
while.
might. So.